Do you know? Do you know which city is known as the city of cyclists? Anybody? Anybody from the guest Toastmasters?
Sijo, did you say city of Cyprus?
City of cyclists. There's one city which is called a city of cyclists.
Yeah. In a city in
Amsterdam.
Yeah, in Europe.
In France.
Yeah, I think you're almost near, but not exactly. So Copenhagen. Yeah, in Denmark. So Copenhagen is known as the city of cyclists. So why it is called? Because 52% of the population, they use cycles for daily commute. So maybe in the recent, there was a Netflix series, Borgen. I don't know whether I not pronounce it correctly or not, in which even the ministers were seen doing cycling and going to their work. Absolute treat to watch, right? For people from India. So we have this theme for today, Go Green, Go Natural. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Let me welcome myself, Sijo John, as Surgeon at Arms, all of you to the 54th meeting of Speaking and Beyond Toastmasters Club. So at Toastmasters, we support each other to become better leaders and better speakers for the future. This being a virtual meeting, we have a set of rules, and please follow the rules during the meeting. Keep your audio on mute when you don't speak, and keep your video on as much as possible. And let's don't have talks related to which is biased towards gender, politics, and religion. Now, to hear more about this theme, Go Green, Go Natural, let me welcome somebody to take this meeting forward. He is a business manager with JP Morgan Chase, and he is also the current director of Division G. Let me welcome Toastmaster Mazahir. Toastmaster Mazahir, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sijo. Let's have a huge round of applause for the Sergeant at Arms for such an energetic start and those wonderful facts. I mean, I was guessing somewhere in France until you said Copenhagen. My name is Mazahir. I welcome you as a presiding officer to the Speaking and Beyond Toastmaster Club, meeting number 54, Toastmaster International Pen, with the virtual way of starting the meeting, and the bang, meeting has been officially open. Let's say we have a huge round of applause to all of us who are available and attending this meeting. Toastmaster is a club where people happen to join to improve majorly on 3 aspects as far as my information goes. One is a listening, another one is speaking, and the third one is leadership. This is the platform that provides an opportunity to people to speak better, listen better, improvise, and then do better at life, whether it is personal or professional. If you're looking to build yourself into a leadership, Toastmasters provide that kind of platform too. This meeting happens in a very simple format when there are guests who joins in, and we ask them for their introduction, and they later provide us with the feedback. Or the Toastmaster, whether they're the member of your own club or the guest from the other clubs available. To begin with, as a president, as a presiding officer for today's meeting, I would like to request, if we have guests in the meeting who are non-Toastmasters, currently not associated, simply can unmute one by one, just state their name and tell us how they got to know about Toastmaster and what is that one thing they're planning to learn today in today's meeting. So anybody can unmute. Varun, should we go with you first? Is that okay? Because we're matching.
Yeah, sure, Mazahir. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Varun, and okay, so I learned about Toastmasters. Like, I've heard of the name a bit while I was in college. So there would be like mails like about like Toastmaster sessions happening. So that's the first time I heard it, and later I've done some like online searches and stuff, and like I got to know more about it, and I decided like I want to give it a try. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's welcome Varun as a guest to our meeting with a huge round of applause on virtual stage. Thank you so much, Varun, for joining. I'll quickly move on to Chiru. Chiru, nice to see you. You want to unmute?
Hi everyone. My name is Chiru. I have known about Toastmasters for quite some time. I did attend a long time back the club where as a guest in one of the clubs, but I could not continue because of whatever reasons anyway. So I intend to. Again I searched. Again I thought time to again get into speaking and listening, like you said. So I hopefully will soon become a member and improve my listening skills and as well as speaking skills as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give another round of applause to Chiru. Thank you so much for joining us as a guest to Speaker and Beyond. Speaking and Beyond, moving on to if Smriti Agrawal or Priya Agrawal, either of them would want to unmute themselves as guest.
So my name is Smriti Agarwal, and I got to know about Toastmaster from one of my cousins. She's Priya Agarwal, and she's too attending the session with us. And she told me that how this platform hones our public speaking skills, and I'm too afraid of public speaking, so I just thought to attend sessions like this and explore more about Toastmaster. That's it.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Smriti. And Priya, are you also available right now? Do you want to unmute and say hello? Okay. As a co-host, let me put a command on your phone or laptop to unmute. And if you won't, that is all right. Thank you so much, Smriti Agrawal, Priya, Varun, Chiru. Thank you so much, guys, as the guests who are joining. I would like to also acknowledge the very fact that we have a couple of Toastmasters who are joining from different clubs. Oh, sorry, Priya, did you go unmute and mute? Okay, I'll move on. So once again, welcome fellow members and guests to another meeting of Speaking and Beyond Toastmasters. I was acknowledging the very fact that we have a couple of Toastmasters from different clubs who are helping us today as guest and as role player. So I would like to appreciate that. If there's any dignitary from Toastmaster, I would like to acknowledge that presence as well. Our club for almost more than a year has created a warm, friendly, and supportive environment because we gather each week to fulfill our mission. And this is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which our members are empowered to develop communication, leadership, and listening skill. Now, this results in greater confidence in the personal growth of an individual. This is a club mission also, because this is a place of this community where aspiring speaker leaders come forward to learn and proven orator interpret pioneers to continue to grow and share their wisdom. Now, today's meeting, the theme is very interesting, and I will definitely not steal anything from the master of ceremony. However, I would like to state that I love watching Formula One as a game. Now, this game uses cars and fuel, and they mention in their official statement, they're trying to go zero carbon footprint by 2030. Now, imagine a motorsport who said that they would want to do that, right? I just can't hold to hear from the master of ceremony in Toastmaster meeting. They're also known as the Toastmaster of the day or Toastmaster of the evening. This person, he is, a alumni of IIM Bangalore, currently works as one of the senior person in one of the companies. And he's a very humble person, to be very frank with you. I mean, a lot of people, do see the other side of the coconut, the front side of it, but we know the soft side inside of it. So that's how I know this person. And without any delay, the actual president of the club, however, today, wearing a hat of Toastmaster of the day, somebody's going to run this entire meeting forward on his shoulder. Toastmaster Sachin, I would like to welcome you on the virtual stage with a huge round of applause. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Manik, for a wonderful introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. The theme of the day, go green and go natural. Does anyone knows who is the forest man of India? Anyone in the audience?
I know
Any
mountain
guesses?
man, I don't know forest man. Milind Soman?
No.
Sundarlal Bahuguna?
No. The forest man of India is Jadev Payeng, who has planted the highest number of trees in India. In 1979, when Jadhav was 16 years, he witnessed a large number of snakes died due to excessive heat. It was then he decided that he will plant 20 bamboo seedlings on the sandalwood. Jadhav, since then, has been working on a plantation project for almost 5 years on a 200 hectares of land. And when the project was complete, he decided to stay with the project. And then with his hard work, he turned the entire area into a forest. The forest is now called Mulai Forest, and Jadhav was awarded as Padma Shri for his efforts, the fourth highest civilian award. Friends, our planet is growing at a rate which is not sustainable. It is suspected if we grow at the same pace, the population will hit 9.8 billion by 2050. We need 2 planets to serve our consumption. It is why the move to go green and go natural is more important. Now, friends, for the interest of the guest, a typical Toastmaster session has got 3 sections. The first one is a prepared speech section where the speakers deliver the speeches which has been prepared by them, and it lasts almost for 5 to 7 minutes, sometimes lasts longer. Then comes the table topic session where there is a table topics master and he calls the guest or the members on a random basis and gives a title, and the guest or the member is expected to speak on the title for almost 1 to 2 minutes. The third section is the feedback session, which is the most interesting session of the entire proceedings. Here, the general evaluator gives a feedback on the entire proceedings. At the same time, the evaluators, they give their feedback on the speeches. They are also accompanied by tag team players like grammarian and our counter. So this is the way a typical Toastmaster session is run. With this, I would like to pass the baton to the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Kevin. Toastmaster Kevin is an HR by profession. He sometimes thinks why we as humans race think of destroying our nature after she gave us so much. There are so many alternatives to live a healthy and non-destructible life, but we sometimes choose the easier way. Over to you, Toastmaster Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sachin, for that warm introduction. And what a great theme we have today. And it's high time all of us think a little more, focus a little more into how we treat our nature. So go green, go natural is the theme we have. I, as a child, sometimes would think, why can't someone invent a car, an electric car? And why did we have to wait for Elon Musk to come up with an idea of an electric car? I mean, why can't this thought process even start way before? Because if I as a person, I'm not an engineer, but if I can think that, I mean, you can make electricity out of dynamo, and probably if you can store that energy in a battery, I mean, you can actually run a vehicle, be it car, anything for that matter. I mean, so there is definitely a lot of politics happening behind the scenario. So a lot of fossil fuel companies, major players in the world, might not be allowing these kind of ideas to propagate, and they're not enhancing. Now we have come to the stage where the world is like, I mean, we recently even heard in the news that if you look our Earth from moon, the color has also started dimming out a little bit. The glow has gone. This is all due to the greenhouse effect and the global warming. So, I mean, we always wait for that last moment to realize that, okay, we should take a step. We are actually so late. And thanks to Elon Musk, who even thought that the world should be made a little more electric, I mean, rather than relying on fossil fuels. So this is my standpoint on go green, go nature. And I am someone who try to like make sure that we reduce the like wastage in the nature, be it anything for that matter. It is we should be humble and we should be simple is my philosophy and of life, and I would like to follow the same, and I would recommend everyone to do that as well, because it's already high time. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce my tag team, that is the timer, R counter, grammarian, and also the listener. So now it's called the taggle. So it's not tag team anymore, it's taggle. So to start off, let me call upon the timer for the day, who is none other than Toastmaster Manik. So Toastmaster Manik is currently pursuing an MBA from TAPMI Manipal, and he has 26 months of experience in the field of business development and sales. He is just beginning his career as a consultant at Capgemini. He has got good client handling skills, strategy, market acquisition, client engagement, competitor analysis, and B2B tie-ups are his strengths. He says that he is joining Toastmaster to improve his communication and leadership skills, and believes that this will boost his career. So Manik, over to you. And before you explain your role, if you can also give us a small tip on how we can go green and go natural. Over to you, Manik.
Sure. Thank you, General Evaluator Kevin, for this wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I will time the topic speakers, speak, and evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left, using the green, yellow, and red card as a virtual background. This denotes time remaining. First section, speech, in which speeches is 5 to 7 minutes. The second section is table topic, in which table topic speaker will have 1 to 2 minutes. The third section is evaluation. Each evaluator will have 2 to 3 minutes. After reaching 4-minute time, I will raise the green card. After reaching 5 minutes time, I will raise the yellow card. After reaching 6 minutes time, I will raise the red card. Speaker will have 30-second buffer to wrap up their speeches. I will provide the time report when called by the general evaluator towards the end of the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manik, for explaining your role. Now, over to the R counter for the day. So for R counter, we have Toastmaster Shamir. So Toastmaster Shamir, before you explain your role, if you can also let us know how a few tips on how you as a person contribute to become go green, go natural. Over to you, Toastmaster Shamir.
Thank you so much, General Kevin, for putting me in what's it like a table topic session. So actually, what I can say that during the lockdown, I was completely at home. Like I didn't go out anywhere and I didn't work out much. So I literally felt that a lot of I was losing out my muscles and everything, because whenever I go out, I will use my two-wheeler. So what I felt that it is better to use bicycle or walk for nearby distance, go buying grocery or something else. So that two benefits, you can take care of your fitness and also you can reduce the petrol, all those stuff. So that is one thing like I can think go green and grow natural at this spot moment. And coming back to my role, good evening everyone. And imagine your favorite singer coming on live at 5 p.m. and you're so excited to see your favorite singer, he or she singing. But during singing, he or she forgot the lyrics or due to some panic, like repeating the lyrics and making unwanted pauses. What happens? You will be losing interest of that song, right? You won't be able to enjoy the full vibe. So similar way, when a speaker speaks and he or she makes like unwanted pauses and filler sounds, what happens? What are the message speaker want to give to audience? It won't deliver to the audience. So don't worry about that. As an counter, I will be making note all your crutch words, like and because all these words and unwanted repetitions and unwanted pauses, and the filler sounds like ahs and ums. At the end, General Evaluator calls me. I will be giving the detailed report of each speaker and over to General Evaluator Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamir, for that introduction of your role and your tip as per the theme. Now over to the grammarian for the day. It is none other than Toastmaster Mazahir. So Toastmaster Mazahir, before you explain the role, if you can also give one tip at the interest of time on how we can go green and go natural. Over to you, Toastmaster Mazahir.
Yep. In the interest of time, I'll do actually two. Kevin, charity begins at home. Recycle. You all know you should, so just do it. Number two, very simple thing, switch it off. While you're leaving a room, just switch off the lights if it's not in use. My name is Mazahir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm playing the role of a grammarian for today's meeting. It is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers who come on the virtual stage, listen carefully to their language usage. I'll make a note of any misuse of English language, as well as any outstanding words, codes, saying, thoughts, because as grammarian, it's also my responsibility and duty to introduce the word of the day. It has been posted in the chat already, flamboyant. It meaning strikingly bold or brilliant, showy, very easily noticed. Something as an example that you can say, somebody's son, passed with flamboyant colors, or the flamboyant, idol of international society, or flamboyant speeches, a speaker or speakers have delivered, right? So try to use this in today's meeting. Anybody who uses the word of the day, we can do a single or a double thumbs up just to encourage them. And I'll also provide my report for the entire grammarian part towards the end when called by the general evaluator. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazahir, for your, as usual, flamboyant style of presenting and explaining your role and even giving us a tip. And with that, let me introduce the Toastmaster Hina, who will be the listener for the day. So Toastmaster Hina believes that listening is the ability to accurately receive and is the key to effective communication, which is absolutely true. So over to you, Toastmaster Hina. And before you explain your role, if you can also give one tip on how you can go natural and go green.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Kevin, for the warm introduction. I would suggest 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle, and the use of environment-friendly vehicles as well as renewable resources like solar energy and wind energy can reduce the pollution to a greater extent. Okay, coming to the listener role. Listening is an important part of connecting with and learning from others. Being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. As a listener, I will note down the interesting tidbits of information and I will ask questions towards the end of the meeting to see if everyone was paying attention. With this, I hand over the stage to General Evaluator Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina, for that introduction on your role and the tip that you provided. Now with that, I have introduced all my Taggle team members. Now I have 2 evaluators as well. One is Toastmaster Anuja, who will be evaluating speech number 1 of Toastmaster Dilras. And then we have Toastmaster Ritika, who will be the evaluator for speaker number 2, that is Toastmaster Priti. So now, without any further ado, I would like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Sachin, who will take it ahead from here. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Sachin.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kevin, for your flamboyant style. And also, thanks a lot to all the role players, which you are not calling as Taggle. That's a new word which I came to know. So thank you, G. Toastmaster Kevin. We'll now move to a prepared speech section. I would like to request evaluator Toastmaster Anuja to read the speech guidelines of the first speech, where the speaker is attempting Pathways Project L1 P2. Toastmaster Anuja is working in KPMG as a senior consultant and have been a Toastmaster for 2 years now. She loves reading about history, watching documentaries, and is interested in politics. About the theme, she believes that fast fashion generates a lot of pollution and waste. So we should read up more about sustainable fashion and try to recycle items from our wardrobe. Over to you, Toastmaster Anuja.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sachin. I'll be evaluating Dr. Sultana Dhilras today, and she will be attempting level 1 project 2. Her purpose of the speech is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply that feedback to her next speech. She can choose any style of speech that she wants to give and any topic of speech that she chooses. And I hope that you are giving a good speech, including all the good elements that's required in a speech craft, and take the feedback and positively use it in your upcoming speech to better yourself. All the best, Dr. Dhilras. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sachin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anuja. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Dr. Dhilras. Dr. Dhilras is a pediatric surgeon, mother of a naughty 8 years old, and a curious learner. Toastmaster Dr. Dhilras, me versus myself straight from the heart. Toastmaster Dr. Dhilras.
When you judge a woman by her appearance, it doesn't define her, it defines you, said Dr. Steves. A woman is constantly judged everywhere. She's judged by her own family, by her own friends, by her colleagues, and by the society. She has to prove herself at every possible situation that she is a good mother, she's a good wife, she's a good daughter, she's a good daughter-in-law, she's a good employee and a good worker. And you know what? She is constantly criticized for her actions. She is criticized for not being a good wife, for not cooking that delicious meal, for not spending time with the family, for being overambitious. And one such commonest criticisms she receives is for not having a perfect body. Yes, you heard me right. For not having a perfect body, especially after childbirth. Do I sound silly? No. It is a real issue and the struggle is real. My fight is as real as my existence. Yes, I received taunts, teases, constant criticisms, comments on my body, be it from my very own friends, family, or my colleagues at work. I started facing body shaming. When you start listening to negative things again and again, you start believing it. Yes, I started to believe it. I always felt very heavy, actually more than what I weighed, and I ended up having conflicts. Well, external conflicts can be nagging, but internal conflicts, they are destroying, they are destructive. It eats your mind. It breaks your confidence with a constant poking around. It left me with low self-worth, low self-esteem, and turning me from an extrovert to an introvert. It pushed me from standing in front to hiding between the crowds, between the people, building a negative self-image. Always known to be a polite, humble, soft-spoken girl in the workplace, I would shy away from such comments. I would choose to ignore the comments, choose to ignore the persons completely. That day, it was a little different. I received a strong, harsh comment from one of my male colleagues. That was a bad day for him or for me, I don't know. I was deeply hurt and wounded. Truly speaking, I felt like punching his face, but I didn't. Yet I did it. Listen how. I calmed myself. I controlled my anger, and I replied to him in a funny note. I said, I gain and you lose. He was confused. He said, come again. I said, I gain and you lose. What to do, boss? As you lose your hairline, I gain my waistline. It's all hormonal. It has very less to do with eating habits. I remembered a funny quote from the Popular magazine. When men comment on your increasing waistline, look at his receding hairline. He was dumbstruck. That day, I gave him an unpredictable response, and he never expected. Was I playing offensive here? No. I was playing defensive. Was I fighting with him? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't have enmity with him. I was fighting with myself, my inner self. It was me versus myself. That day, I stood up for myself, breaking my terror barrier, boosting my confidence, building my self-esteem. And at last, I smiled and said, politeness is not my weakness. Yes, I am kind, I am polite, but it is not my weakness, boss. It is my strength. And here, I am not being rude. No, not at all. I am being strong. And I said it straight from the heart. I was feeling flamboyant and I felt light afterwards as I stopped carrying the weight of other people's judgments and expectations. I felt lighter. When nobody else celebrates you, learn to celebrate yourself, someone said. When nobody else compliments you, compliment yourself. And it is not up to others to keep you encouraged. No, it is up to you. And encouragement should come from the inside. Guys, please train to program your mind, else your mind will be programmed by others' thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dillas, for a wonderful speech. Let's put our hands together for Toastmaster Dr. Dillas. I agree with you that woman is constantly judged by everyone. She is criticized for everything, especially when she doesn't have a perfect body. And for the message that politeness is not weakness but strength. And when nobody compliments, is learn to compliment ourselves. Great thoughts. With this, I would request evaluator Toastmaster Ritika to read the guideline of the second speech, where the speaker is attempting Pathways Project L3P1. Toastmaster Ritika is from Speaker Squad Toastmasters Club. Pursuing third pathway in Pathways, she truly feels that growing plants and imbibing nature and more environment-friendly lifestyle should be a norm now. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sachin. A very good evening to all of you, and a very, very special one to Toastmaster Priti, whose speech I will be evaluating. The purpose of the speech is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. With that, all the very best, Toastmaster Priti. Over to you, Toastmaster Sachin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Priti. Toastmaster Priti loves gardening and believes in consuming organic food. She focuses on recycling and reusing of stuff and always insists on switching off lights and fans to reduce carbon footprint. Toastmaster Priti, save your life, ditch your mobile phone. Toastmaster Priti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sachin. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. In my quest to attain better health and well-being, I have since last couple of years been doing a lot of research on what works well for my mind and my body. In the process, I have been following and unfollowing a lot of methods, routines, diet, and generally a better way of living. Amidst all this is my commitment to myself to reduce a very constant in our lives, which is the mobile phones. It all began with a reflection of my social media usage. So my social media trajectory would begin by checking messages and emails on WhatsApp and Gmail, then moving to check what an awesome and happy life my family and friends are leading on Facebook and Instagram, and then moving to envying my colleagues who are having great career and conversation on LinkedIn and Twitter. All this would eventually land me to a shopping app wherein I would spend my money to feed my brain with something new to look forward to. Maybe in the process feel better. However, when the shopping parcel would arrive, I would feel worse because I have spent money on something that I do not need, or perhaps don't even remember ordering it. All this would make me despondent and being careless with time, money, and effort. Soon I realized that mobile phones, which was a gateway to social media, was hampering my productivity and attention to work. So how do we solve the problem? Let me describe you the ways in which I have been able to reduce my mobile phone usage. One of the foremost ways in which I have been able to reduce my mobile phone usage and drastically reduce the screen time is by disabling all the notifications. I would check my mobile phones at my time and convenience and not as per the ping of the notification. Secondly, the thing that has worked for me is deleting all the apps which are taking my maximum time on social media. For example, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, this might surprise you because I am the VP PR of Speaking and Beyond, and I'm claiming I don't have these apps on my mobile phone. So the method that I follow is installing the apps, posting it, and then deleting them. The other thing that has helped me improve my sleep cycle has been following the method of not using mobile phones 2 hours before sleeping and 2 hours after waking up. I do not want to start and end my day with the millions of notifications screaming at me. And lastly, the phone detox. I promised myself that I will not spend my weekend time on mobile. So now let me go back. What triggered my experiment with mobile phones? It was a video that I watched of Chamath Pahlipithia, who joined Facebook in 2007 as the vice president of its user growth. He said in an interview that he felt tremendous guilt about the company that he has helped to build. To quote him, "I think we have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works." He said this to an audience at Stanford Graduate School of Business before recommending to people to take hard breaks from social media. If this is not convincing, let me recommend to you that you watch a documentary which is available on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. The documentary deep dives into how mobile phones are designed, social media is designed to nurture addiction, to manipulate people's emotions, views, behavior, and spreads misinformation and conspiracy theories, all this just to maximize profit. It made me realize that the objective of social media was to turn me into a product. My time and my information was being sold for their profits. Let me narrate you an anecdote of my last vacation, which was at the beautiful Pangong Lake at Ladakh. Words will always fall short to describe the beauty of the place. We saw beautiful clear blue sky, splashing clear blue water nestled amidst snow-capped Himalayan range. The geography of Pangong Lake is such that out of the 134 kilometers lake, 50% of it lies in China. Needless to say, that area is marked with heavy military security. So much so that the moment we entered Pangong Lake districts, our mobile phones lost network. My 24-hour stay at Pangong Lake was without mobile network. And I must tell you, those 24 hours, we soaked in the nature's beauty the most. We enjoyed the chilling water, we felt the refreshing air, gazed at the incredible Milky Way visible during the night, and spent hours chatting to fellow travelers. I must tell you, the experience was mesmerizing, refreshing, and brought us all great perspective and memories. To conclude, I would say we must all give a thought whether we want to be a product or a human being. There's more to this world than the fake dopamine-driven virtual reality. To end, I would like to all give you a challenge. Can you all give up your mobile phones for 1 hour before sleeping and 1 hour after waking up? Are you all ready to save your world? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priti, for a wonderful speech. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's hear for Toastmaster Priti. You gave the message that mobile phone is a gateway to social media, and also you told us how social media is designed to nurture addiction and how the objective of social media is to turn us into a product, and how your stay was enjoyable at Pangong Lake without mobile phone. Great thoughts, Toastmaster Priti. Now with this, prior to COVID, I have installed an app called Quick Ride, which allowed passengers sharing of rides. While the car owner got points each time he picked up a passenger, the objective was to reduce the number of cars on the road, to reduce pollution and traffic. The Quick Ride app became very popular over a short period of time, and it was a great initiative to make the planet go green. With this, we come to an end of prepared speeches section, but we have more. We have Toastmaster Revati, who is going to take us through a very interesting session on table topics. Toastmaster Revati is working as a specialist in IT firm. Her life is busy with work, household work, and taking care of a 10-year daughter. She takes out some time for her hobby, painting. She believes that small contribution like switching off lights when not in use, carrying bags when going for shopping, not wasting water would help in saving environment. Over to you, Toastmasters, Revati.
Thank you, Sachin, for such a wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'll be a table topic master. The purpose of the table topic master is to facilitate where guests and the Toastmaster members will have an opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. Impromptu speaking helps us to develop 4 vital communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering. The topics that I have prepared for you will hopefully help all of us to be better at improvising our impromptu speaking. Since we at Toastmaster try and provide speaking opportunity to maximum audience members, this is not restricted to only the Toastmaster members. This is open to the guests as well. Please note that the timing for each table topic will be 1 to 2 minutes and 30 seconds of buffer. Make sure that you pin timer. I'll be calling randomly the participants, or you can volunteer. Since I'll be sharing my screen, I won't be able to see who has raised their hand. Please call out your name if you're volunteering. Let me share my screen for today's table topic. Are you able to see my screen?
It's coming up for me.
Okay. I can't see. Now we can see.
Okay, let's begin with the first topic. This is basically the visual. I'll be showing the pictures, and the members who will be called to speak has to analyze and see what they can make out of the pictures or the snaps I'm showing and speak about that. So I would like to call upon Harish. So this, Harish, this is your pick for the table topic. Just let me know once you are ready, and so that the timer can. Yeah.
I'm audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. I can start now. Thank you. Okay, but let me first forgot to pin the timer. I'm sorry. Yeah, I pin the timer now. Thank you. So, good evening, friends. So, as you can all see, this is about cleaning the garbage. So, when I saw this picture, I realized that there are lots of types of garbage, that is all around us. Like it can be the typical, like garbage that can be recycled, something that can be recycled. But there is also more to that. For example, there is this lot of this WhatsApp garbage, where you get a lot of forwards and your phone gets clean. I mean, your phone gets full. You need to clean all these garbages one day. And it is not just one type of garbage. There is also a lot of garbage in our hearts. And there is this garbage that is created, like when someone says some bad things about us or bad things about other people, these really cause stress, I think even these are also lots of types of garbages. So like how you see, the young kids who are cleaning up that garbage, I think we also need to always keep cleaning up this garbage. Or like your phone gets full and gets stuck, I think that similarly, your mind also will get stuck if you are getting too much garbage into your brain. And there's also one thing that occurs to me when I see this picture. See, all of them are small young kids. So I think that I think when we are young, we have this always this positive feeling, and whenever we see something bad, we always tend to clean it. But somehow, when we all grow up, I think this tendency somehow, I think, comes on. So we always need to realize the inner kid and ask the inner kid in us to clean up all kinds of garbage in our lives, be it physical garbage or be it mental garbage or be it any type of garbage. Yeah, so if you are not able to sure how to clean garbage, how to keep things clean, I would suggest you to watch the podcasts and videos of Mary Kondo. She has a very popular book about cleaning up as well. Yeah, so let's keep our minds, our hearts, and our cities clean. Thank you all, and back to the table topics, Master.
Thank you, Harish, for such a wonderful speech. Yeah, that would be one of the contribution for our environment. And we usually visit so many places and carry our snacks or buy snacks there. And one of the small contribution would be just whenever we eat snack or you throw the bottles or the wrappers in the dustbins provided there, not to throw here and there. If there is no dustbin, just carry one carry bag and put it and come back home and you can throw in your dustbin. So that would be a small contribution to our environment and to keep it clean and hygienic. Okay, let's go to next table topic. I would like to call Tulika.
Hi, at table topic master.
Yeah, this is your picture.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This pic here is so heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking to see a kid with an oxygen mask only because of what we are doing to the environment. We are not giving them clean air to breathe. There's pollution coming out from our factories, coming out from our brains, I feel like we used to have air pollution, water pollution, land pollution. Now there is one more pollution, which is mind pollution. And this is there are all sorts of unuseful thoughts and information is stacking up our mind and not letting us be easy on ourselves. I feel this mind is filled with too much of wanting everything now. Even the kids today, the little kids, they want to have everything at a time. They want to look good, they want to score good, they want to travel, they want to do everything in a very short time, and just to show people, just to show people, just to show their friends, just to boast around. And it's not easy for them. This picture shows both the air pollution, which is not letting us breathe fresh air, as well as the mind pollution that the social media or this today's environment is feeding our kids with, which is not letting them be easy on themselves. That's all from my side. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Priti.
Thank you. Well said, Tulika. Nowadays, we see the factories and all, they are letting out a lot of gases. And equally on the other side, there are a lot of deforestation, which actually leads to not observing the carbon dioxide and the polluted air that is being left out. This is very alarming this thing for our future generation. So we have to see how we can contribute to this situation and plant as many as plants for our future generation. With that, I will go to the next picture. Can I call anybody from guest? Chiru, would you go for next?
I can try, yeah. Wow.
This is your topic.
Seems like a tough one to me.
Pardon?
I'm trying to figure out
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Or if any other guest wants to take it up, I'm fine. But it's an earth where drops are coming out, something like that.
If you want another topic, I can.
Yeah, maybe another topic. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, hi. This reminds me of the topic which was spoken earlier also, where we find garbage being thrown everywhere, wherever we go. Only today morning when I was driving in Bangalore, we are passing by a lake where one of my daughters, mentioned that, how nice it would be if we were allowed to boat in the lake, and immediately my wife remarked saying that, once public is allowed, then it is going to be a mess. The lake, which is so pristine and which is so nice, no longer would be without any waste or bottles. And this is something which we see more and more at most of the tourist places, where people are not following basic cleanliness, where they need to pick up what they have thrown, rather to keep it clean. The main purpose of going to these places is to relax and enjoy the beauty, whereas the people are not able to leave the place clean for others to enjoy the same beauty which they have come to enjoy. I think this is something which needs to change, I would say, across the world. And this picture also talks about where, though from the distance, everything looks probably very pristine, but if you lift the cover, there's a lot of garbage which is there in the oceans or in the forests. So this is something which we need to build awareness among ourselves, and be conscious of what we are doing to planet Earth. Thank you.
Well said, Chiru. Yeah, we see a lot of newses and we see a lot of visuals where the people who go to see the sea or enjoy the beaches, they just throw the bottles and the waste here and there rather than throwing it in a designated area or the place. which will harm the aquatic animals there, and it's not a good thing. So there are so many awareness being still conducted, but self-awareness should be always at the higher priority. And being most of the educated people also doing this, it's really shameful. Yeah, we from our side, at least we can take care of keeping our oceans and water bodies clean as much as possible. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Can I have Smriti?
I think she dropped. Sriti and Priya, they both dropped it.
Okay, can I have next any volunteers?
Yes, Revati, I would like to give it a try.
Kevin.
Yes, this is Kevin.
Yeah, please. This is your picture.
All right, this image is so powerful. The reason being, we do everything for the benefit of our new generation, our kids. We feel like we're doing everything for the benefit of our kids, but the actual reality or the actual fact is, I mean, the reality is so harsh. And that is what you see in this image. We cut down the trees for our furniture because we can't sit on a furniture which is not made out of teak wood, because teak wood will last long and you can't sit on any other furniture. Something will happen to you if you sit on any other furniture. It's such a wrong thing to destroy the nature. Instead, we have to come up with, even if you're cutting down a tree, make sure that you're planting 3 or 4 other trees. That's how it should be. And this is something that should come from schooling. It's not something that can be implemented in a person's mind like suddenly. So what we see here is this poor kid is trying to make sure that he's planting the trees to avoid a complete apocalypse in this of this earth. I don't know if anyone has seen this movie 2012. Though the ratings were bad for that movie in IMDb, I like that movie very much. It was made in a very good manner. I mean, the visual effects were really good. And yeah, so it is our duty to at least now think, prioritize nature or over our selfishness. And with that message, I would like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Revati. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, this is very powerful pick, as you mentioned. And yeah, if we don't leave any trees left out for our next generation, it's obvious that they have to carry the oxygen mask wherever they go. It's better we understand now, or it will be too late. This reminds me of an incident. Like I go for a walk daily morning, and usually that is very greenery over there, and very like lot of trees. So one next morning when I went, I saw a lot of trees being cut, and it was very heart touching, and I felt really bad. And that's going to be the future if we don't equally plant for one tree cut, the one more tree or seedling planting. This will be the situation. So can I have a volunteer for next topic?
Yeah, I can go next. Ritika here.
Yeah, thank you. Ritika, this is your topic.
Okay, that's an emotional one. I was hoping to see some more oceans and trees there. But yes, I think empathy and just being conscious of our surroundings, how our actions are going to impact another one. I think if we just start being conscious about it, as much as we are conscious of our weight, I'm sure half our troubles will go away. We see in this picture the one side of the effect our actions have on the other wildlife, but the person who is putting that matchstick and trying to burn down the forest doesn't see this side. So I think the need of the hour is to see holistically what we are doing, who all are the stakeholders, what are we showing or leaving behind for our future generations. I think we need to just be conscious. That's what I would like to drive through this image to all of you, that think again, be conscious, and your actions will fall in line. With that, back to you, Toastmaster Dev.
Thank you, Ritika. Well said. Yeah, this reminds of one of the incidents that happened recently. The lot of forests in Australia got burnt, and so many animals got affected. They got burnt. It was really heart touching to see that visuals. Really, this is basically of the global warming in turn, which to which we also contribute, and more we think of, more we get hurt. Yeah, there are steps being taken to reduce the global warming, but still a lot to do towards that. With that, I just want to check with the timer. Do we have time to take few more topics?
I think we can wrap it up, Revati.
Okay, sure. With that, I'll conclude the table topic session. We had a very nice session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Table Topic Master Revati, for a great session. From Toastmaster Hari's take on the garbage, such as WhatsApp garbage, garbage in our heart, how important is to clean the garbage of mind and physical garbages, to Toastmaster Tulika's thought on kids with an oxygen mask who is impacted due to pollution which we have created, to guest Chiru's reflection on how we are making the lakes dirty and how people are not following basic cleanliness rules, and Toastmasters Kevin's speech on minimal efforts which we are making for our kids to have a greener life, and Toastmaster Ritika's speech on being conscious of our actions on the other side. I really enjoyed the session. Hope everyone agrees with me. A big round of applause for Table Topics Master Revati and the Table Topic speakers. Although I raised my hand also, but I hope Revati did not see my hand. Anyways, better luck next time.
Yeah, I can't see because I was sharing. Sorry for that.
No issue, no issues. Next session is the feedback session, and I'll hand over the virtual stage to Toastmaster Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sachin. And what a wonderful session we had today. A lot of information that has been passed on and a lot of takeaways for sure. So without any further ado, let me call upon my tag team, starting with the timer, to give out the report. So over to you, Toastmaster Manik.
I think feedback is still pending for the speakers.
Yeah, I understand that. Just give me a moment. All right, we can go ahead with the evaluation first. The evaluator for speech number 1, that is Toastmaster Anuja. You can give your feedback.
Yeah, sure, Toastmaster Kevin. And such a flamboyant introduction by our speaker, Toastmaster Dhilras. Such a power-packed speech, such a relatable content, and especially all the women out here will agree word by word with your speech. The struggles that women go through, the fights that we put up, amazingly summarized and amazingly presented out there. It did not look like, your project 2 of level 1. It was a very good speech. It was a very impactful speech. The best thing that I liked was you were standing up and giving a speech like we do in real life, like we used to do in Toastmaster sessions, and not just giving such a powerful speech by sitting down and going easy breezy. It was very nicely done. Your facial expressions were on point. All the examples that you were giving, all the enunciations that you were doing, it was very well matching with the facial expressions that you had. You had voice modulation as well. Although I don't stress too much on voice modulation because I feel that level 1 should all be about content and presenting it well. And then later on, one can pick up facial expressions, voice modulations, and all other stuff that makes speechcraft much more beautiful. But you had everything in your speech that was required today. Some feedback that I can give you is if you would just have introduced pauses in your speech, because sometimes when you give a whole speech, line by line without having a pause, it will not create as much impact as your content is supposed to deliver. For example, you said, I was deeply hurt and wounded, and then you carried on with your next sentence. If you would have given a pause there, like, I was deeply hurt and wounded, and if after that you carry on with your sentence, it will show that how much anguish you felt at that moment. The audience will relate, that this is something that impacted the speaker, and that's why her speech contains this example from her life. Second example I would give is, you said, I controlled my anger and replied, and then you carried on with your sentence in the same manner. So if you would have reframed your sentence like, I controlled my anger and replied. So that will show that, you were playing that moment with us right now during your speech. So these little tidbits will, have more impact in your speech, because content like this, which has so much deeper meaning, can really impact the audience, can really sway the audience, can really change the thinking of people. So try to add few more elements of these pauses and, emotions wherever you are depicting it. Try to make it more personal. Otherwise, you have all the elements that is required for a wonderful speech. As you saw everyone's feedback on your speech, I don't think so that anyone was not moved by your speech. You have a great power of delivering a wonderful speech. Do utilize it, inculcate the feedbacks, and give us again a power-packed performance next time. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dilras. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anuja. And I'm sure there's no one here who would disagree with whatever Anuja has said. Just to add on, I would like to say it's a very powerful speech. I can see a very good speaker in Toastmaster Dilras, and I'm sure this is not the first time Toastmaster Dilras is giving out a speech. And I'm sure Toastmaster Dilras will definitely go up the ladder. And there's a lot of takeaways for everyone here who has attended the session. Thank you, Toastmaster Dilras, for that. And I would like to now call upon the listener, Toastmaster Hina, because I think Toastmaster Hina has to leave for work. So over to you, Toastmaster Hina.
Good evening once again. I have prepared a few questions for you just to see if all are listening. Are you all ready? Okay. First question, who's the poorest man of India?
God.
Jadhav, Payang.
Yes.
Jadhav.
Same. Second question, easy one. Job profile of Dr. Dilras.
Pediatric
She's a
surgeon.
pediatrician.
Pediatric surgeon.
Surgeon.
Yes, correct.
Pediatric surgeon.
Commonest criticism that a woman faces.
Body shaming.
Body shaming.
Body shaming.
Not having a perfect body.
Not having a perfect body.
Dash and dash are the strength of Dr. Dilras, not weakness.
Politeness.
Politeness
One more.
and
Patience.
Calm. Kindness.
Kindness. Just kindness. The documentary available in Netflix.
social dilemma.
Social dilemma.
Social dilemma. Okay. Whether we want to be a product or a human being, whose word?
Priti.
Priti. Okay. What challenge Toastmaster Priti gave?
Not to you put down the 1 hour before,
2 hours before sleep.
One. Okay.
I think she said
Anyone.
I think she said 1 hour before and 1 hour after. She maintains 2 hours. I don't know how she does it, but yes.
Okay, with this, The questions are all done. I agreed. You all were good listeners. Kudos to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina, for testing our attentiveness during this. Now, over to Toastmaster Ritika, who will be evaluating the second speaker, Toastmaster Priti. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kevin. Once again, good evening and a very good evening to Toastmaster Priti. If anything, we all need to be persuaded to, it is to just look up from this screen. And I'm so glad that Toastmaster Priti, you use the objectives of this speech to actually persuade us by appealing with ethics. That's what you chose in your speech. And that was very, very well done. It was spot on. Well, you asked us a question whether we are a product or a human being. I'm sure you are a very, very powerful human being. And as human beings, I would like to obviously point out what you were good at in your speech today. First of all, you stood up and delivered your speech, which is so rarely seen in most of the speech deliveries. That was very good, and you challenged yourself in doing that. Your speech was also in line with the theme for today, which was also incredible. You gave relative examples in your speech, and that is how you started. The very obvious things that all of us do in the audience: check WhatsApp, if not WhatsApp, FB, if not FB, Insta, and the chain just goes on and in loop. So that was a very good way of onboarding your audience with the content which you were going to deliver. That was very, very well done. You pointed out the principles you follow: detox, phone detox, keeping it away over the weekend. What this does is it gives an audience a choice. It gives them an idea of how to implement what you are persuading them to do. So that was a very good way of psychologically programming their mind and telling them, this is the problem. How do you do it? Let me tell you. That was very well done. You also gave an example of a video or a documentary to go look at and refer, because if we are on the screen, might as well watch a documentary which will tell us more about it. So I think that was very, very well done. Very good preparation, I would say there. On the other side, what I would recommend is, when you are giving examples, maybe keep 10 points in your script, speak 3, and ask the audience to fill in. When you said WhatsApp, Facebook, ask the audience, what are the other platforms you go and check out? Maybe 1 or 2 will respond to you. That will cover the audience interaction. They will feel a part of it all. And then you can list the rest of the items in your speech. The other thing what I felt was the voice modulation, especially when you said the effects of screen and how it impacts your time. A little pause here, a little frown there would have really helped. So overall, in summary, the question that you asked was product or human being. You should have paused for half a second at the end, created that impact, looked straight into the camera and summarized just there. That would have been a real powerful way of concluding such a powerful speech. You are a powerful speaker, so I wish you all the very best to go ahead and give more powerful speeches like this. All the best, and back to you, Toastmaster Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika, for that wonderful feedback you have given to Toastmaster Priti. And I'm sure Toastmaster Priti is another good speaker from our club, for sure. So basically, the 2 speeches we had today is one of the 2 best speakers of our club, is what I would like to say. And I'm sure everyone would agree to that. And I always like the flamboyant style of how Priti delivers a speech. And also the best takeaway, like what Toastmaster Ritika pointed out, Priti actually stood and showed how that makes a difference. Everyone in the during feedbacks in a virtual meeting keep saying, please stand and give a speech. But we actually don't know why we should do that, because what is the difference is going to make. but you saw that from Preeti's style, because the way she used the hand gestures, which actually helped us in understanding the speech, which was already powerful. Thank you, Toastmaster Priti and Toastmaster Ritika, for that. And now I would like to call upon the tag team, starting with the timer Manik, Toastmaster Manik, to give away your report. Over to you.
You are on mute, Toastmaster Manik.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Now am I audible? Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kevin. As timer, I first would like to mention the meeting begins on time at 4 p.m. For the prepared speeches, first speaker Toastmaster Dilras took 5 minutes 30 seconds, and for second speech, Toastmaster Priti took 6 minutes 32 seconds. For the table topic speaker, Toastmaster Harish took 59 seconds. Toastmaster Tulika took 1 minute 35 seconds. Toastmaster Chiru took 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Ritika took 55 seconds. Toastmaster Kevin took 1 minute 47 seconds. For the evaluators, Toastmaster Anuja took 3 minutes 32 seconds, and Toastmaster Ritika took 3 minutes 35 seconds. I would like to mention two flamboyant tips for today. One is for time tip, and one is for go green tip. For time tip, don't watch the clock, do what it does, keep going. And for go green tip, stop making other planets look like Earth, please make Earth better. That's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manik, for that, for your report on the time taken by every speaker and role taker. And thank you for your tip as well. Just a small correction with the starting of the speech. I think we started 5 minutes late today due to some technical issues. But yeah, but otherwise, a great report. Thank you, Toastmaster Manik. Now, I would like to call upon the R counter for the day. That is none other than Toastmaster Shamir. Toastmaster Shamir, are you there? Yes. All right. Over to you, Toastmaster Shamir.
Thank you, Kevin. Share my screen, please. Someone confirm.
Yeah, I can see your screen, Shamir.
So, like I said, I just divided into crutch, repeat, and pause and fillers for the counters, and I didn't find any accounts for SA and the proceeding officer. When it comes to the TMOD, Toastmaster Sachin had 1 pause and 2 fillers, and actually he had 1 crutch word. Sorry about that, and that is and we used a couple of times. And comes to general evaluator, Kevin had 1 filler sound, and the timer had 2 filler sounds, and grammarian, I didn't find any accounts. Listener Toastmaster Hina had 2 filler sounds, and speaker, first speaker and first evaluator didn't find any accounts. For second speaker, Toastmaster Priti had 1 filler sounds, and evaluator didn't find anything. From Toastmaster table topic master, Toastmaster Revati had 2 pauses and 5 filler sounds. And the first table topic speaker had 2 crutches, and you know that and see these are the words Harish repeated a couple of times, and 2 filler sounds. And the second speaker, Toastmaster Tulika, had 1 pause and 2 filler sounds. And the third speaker, Toastmaster Chiru, had a crutch word, like you know we have used a couple of times, and 1 pauses and 2 fillers. And the fourth speaker had 1 pauses and 2 filler sounds. And the fifth speaker had 2 filler sounds. And overall, there are 6 pauses which I noted down, and 26 filler sounds, R's and M's. That's my counter report. And one recommendation, like whenever you feel that you're going to make some filler sound or something, take half-second pause. That pause will help you to eliminate those fillers, and you can continue your speech. And thank you, and over to general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamir, for that wonderful report. I would request everyone in the audience to please unmute and give Toastmaster Shamir a round of applause, because the role, especially the tag team, is not easy. It is, even though they are silent observers, but it's very difficult to do that. And on top of that, Toastmaster Shamir came up with this wonderful presentation, which is so simple to understand, and it was very nice. Thank you, Toastmaster Shamir. Now I would like to call upon our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Masahir. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kevin. When nobody else celebrates you, learn to celebrate yourself. When nobody else compliments you, then compliment yourself. And it is not up to other people to keep you encouraged. It is up to you. Joel Osteen, I think I've heard this somewhere before. And thank you so much, Dr. Dilris. I think that is something which I definitely stole out of your speech. It's a quote that was used. If there were two speakers who stood out for the number of quotes that were delivered, I think Dilris, it was you. And then for the word, the imagery that was painted, it is Toastmaster Priti Jaiswal. So you guys have done a fabulous job, both of you. As a grammarian, I was very happy because I was typing in everything every now and then. And these examples were just not for the people out here. These examples were there for me to learn from both of you. And not only from them, I must say the word of the day used was done by Kevin, Sachin, Ritika, Anuja, Dr. Dilris, and Manik. So let's have a huge round of applause for all of these guys. You guys were proactive in using it, and audience were really proactive in giving a thumbs up as well. So that's a very good thing to do. The entire thing behind grammar is not to tell who's better. It's to put you in a comfortable situation and think, are you justifying what you're doing? Example, if my task is to fill water in a glass, I would want to make sure I give it enough amount of it. Not too much, not too less. That's what the language does to all of us. Apart from that, as a grammarian, I found out, there was a great humor that was sprinkled all around by people. Your humor could be dark, your humor could be light in a manner. I will once again quote Dr. Dilris, looking at my hairstyle, I mean, that's how they be tied, but she said, you lose your hairline and I'll tend to, gain on my waistline. That's what she said, something like that, right? So it was nice. It's all sprinkled. People feel happy when a good language is being used. So it's not only the speaker who does the impact is also on us, right? At the same time, I think today meeting, it was very difficult, to be very frank with you, for me to figure out anything which was kind of even for me to tell people not to. But as a grammarian, I'll simply leave you with a few tips if you would like to rather be better or improve your communication skills. The simple fact could be just listen well, be to the point, know your audience, try and understand if it is required for you to use your body language, and always proofread. Try using these tips in your next future speeches, and even if you take up a table topic or something, try doing that. Well, thank you so much. That was my time as a grammarian. Over to you, General Evaluator. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Masahir, for that wonderful report. And it was nice to hear. I mean, I personally feel that we are making a benchmark in this Toastmaster universe. I hope everyone can see our YouTube videos from all over the world, because we are improving, we are getting better day by day from where we started to where we are now. Our standards are so high now, and I'm sure this is, our club will definitely be an exceptional club in this whole fraternity one day. So that being said, a few pointers that I have. I mean, there's nothing much as far as the positives are concerned. Today's meeting should be one of the most exceptional meetings that I've attended till date. Let it be the speakers. And let me also take this opportunity to, if everyone can unmute and give a round of applause for Toastmaster Revati for that wonderful images. Did you actually paint it, or did you pick it up from Google? Because I know that you like painting.
Yeah, I love painting. That is my hobby, but this I downloaded.
Okay, but those images are really powerful. And if the fun part is discovering what an image has got to tell to us. So we can actually picturize that image. That is a real good thing. And apart from that, I'm sure all the evaluators have given enough feedback, and the session was wonderful. Just that we were late by 5 minutes. If we can avoid that and be sharp on time, because that is one of our club's what is it, that the flag that we always held up high, that we always start right on time and finish on time. So with that, I would say it was a wonderful session, and let's keep repeating this kind of energy and these kind of speeches, and let us make the session even more power packed going forward. Thank you, and without any further ado, let me hand over the stage back to our president for the day, that is Toastmaster Masahid. Over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kevin. I think the huge round of applause for you as well and your entire team and every role player for today's meeting. Dear Toastmasters and guests, Kevin will soon be posting a link for the best speaker and other best role players in today's meeting. He will make it available on chat. This is going to be a Google link either on this chat or maybe in the meeting link group. Overall, today's meeting was fantastic. I would like to rather request the guests to provide us with any kind of thoughts on today's meeting. And before I do that, I would like to officially go ahead and adjourn the meeting. So meeting number 54 officially adjourned. In terms of the announcement that we have for next week, we have a linkers meeting coming up with Morgan Stanley Corporate Club, and post which following 24th of October is our club contest for speech evaluation as well as for table topics. So if you wish to participate, please nominate yourself in the group. These two contests are open for all. So you don't really have to finish any kind of a speech, even if you haven't begun as of yet. You just need to be a Toastmaster in good standing of our club to be participating in these contests. Once you win in the club level, you go to area, you go to division, you even go to district. So think about that and do prepare well. Once again, next week's meeting is going to be a linkers meeting together, a joint meeting as we call it, with a corporate club, Morgan Stanley, which is a financial firm. Now, on that note, thank you so much, everybody. And I would love to hear now from Chiru first, followed by Varun, because the other two guests have dropped. So Chiru, your thoughts on today's meeting?
Yeah, I really loved both the speeches by Dr. Dilraj and by Toastmaster Priti. So both were powerful. Both are powerful speakers, like everybody observed, and I even loved the content or what they have delivered. A lot of key takeaways. So looking forward to joining more of speakers and beyond sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chiru. Let's hear it from Varun. Varun, your thoughts on today's meeting?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I had a great time today, and kudos to Dr. Dilraj and Priti especially. So yeah, the speeches were like really great, and they portrayed the word flamboyant as much as possible with very strong body language, and they also conveyed the information while like captivating the audience. Like I did not like see anywhere else or like lift my eyes off the screen like while they were speaking. So yeah, that is something I aspire to do. And other than that, the concept of the table topics were also really nice, because even though I did not speak, like as soon as the picture comes on screen, like everyone like starts collecting their thoughts, and it is really interesting to see like how people think on their feet, right? So yeah, that was nice. And the evaluations were also like really good. So it's not only about speaking, but also like learning after every after every session on like what mistakes you do so that like you get better on the next one. So yeah, overall it was a great session. Thank you, Mazahir, and thank you everyone.
Thank you so much. Let's give a huge round of applause to both the guests, Chiru and Varun. Others who has left in the meeting, thank you so much. I must say that thank you for visiting us in this evening, today, Sunday evening. Please know that our club is currently seeking new members, so you're definitely invited to join our club. Toastmaster Tulika, who's currently the Vice President of Membership, will reach out to you if you happen to have any query. At the same time, I also must extend a warm thank you to Toastmaster Ritika Mathur and Toastmaster Shamir, joining us from different club. This is the beauty of Toastmaster, and especially even to Toastmaster Harish SP, who also shared his thought during table topics as well. There's the beauty of Toastmaster that once you're a member of a club, the moment you get to know there's a meeting happening, another one, if you wish to extend your help, they are always available. I mean, we are always there for them and they are always there for us. Well, thank you so much. On that note, let's once again officially adjourn the meeting. I request Kevin to stop the recording and request the executive committee members to stay, hold on.